So I'm, looking for a project manager. Really, I guess in both places, but specifically for Indianapolis, my I've had like two people that kind of offered to do that for me. I'm wondering what I should what should the expectations be of them? How are they going to be most valuable to me, but also like make good use of their time, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So for a project manager, all you're trying to do for when you're doing something remotely like this, you want someone boots on the ground that would essentially be doing what you're doing, right? So if it were in your market, if this property were in your market, what would you do? You'd probably swing by, you might take some pictures, or at least you get a visual of it. You go maybe check and see if contractors are there. Those are the things that they're going to be doing. And so the value is that they get you boots on the ground. And so what I would communicate as expectations is if they've offered, you might ask, well, what's your rate for that? What do you charge? Right? Because they might say, I've had someone say, I charge $8,000 on this job. And it was like a $25,000 rehab. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking? This is another world. And then still others might just say like, well, I'm your property manager, so I'll just do it, So there's a wide range there. But what I would communicate is, here's what I need done. Your job would be to, one, provide accountability for the contractors and other people on site to push this thing to get closed and to get it done. Once this is handed off to the property manager, that's when I consider rehab done. Not when the contractor says it's done, because we need to go through and review it and make sure that everything's in good shape. Right. So what that means practically for you is I would pay you once it's handed off to the property manager, and it's now their responsibility. So what you'd be doing up until that point is at least once a week, once or twice a week, whatever your preference is on this job, Aaron, you want them to send you pictures and videos of the property. So I want a full walkthrough, and I'd like your commentary. So if you say, if we're 3 weeks past when they said that the first bathroom would be done, and you say, oh, the first bathroom's not done, things like that, or we've got this over here, point out things that I might not be able to see on the actual, without actually being there in person, right? So I'm looking for commentary, but it's really coming in the form of pictures and videos. I want you to be my eyes and my ears. Then I want you to be my feedback on contractors. So are they there when you show up or not? Right. And so there might be a situation where I need you to say, hey, the last 3 times that I've went, there's been nobody there. So I need you to provide feedback to me. And then lastly, the only other thing that we'd probably do is we might do a walkthrough together for a final review of the property. In that case, I would want you to FaceTime me, and then you and I would talk while I'd say, okay, we probably need to clean this up, and I'll take documentation. But that's it. It should take them, depending on the size of the market, 30 minutes a week. Okay. Maybe an hour a week. It's something very small. Like project manager is almost too intense of a title for it, just because it's such a low commitment. But then what I do is I'll usually, but depending on the size of the rehab, I'll say, I'll give you $500 to $1,500 for this, and I'll decide the price ahead of time. And if they say it's worth it, great. If they say no, I find somebody else. Right now, I have my property manager do it. And I don't have to be as active on managing my contractors, just because I've used many of them multiple times before. And then this new contractor, I will have my property manager be a lot more hands-on, go through and take pictures and things like that. But that's all that you're asking the property manager to do. Does that make sense? Okay. Or the project manager, rather.
Yeah. My property manager, I think, is going to be willing to do that for managing the property as part of that. But I wasn't sure if I needed to be asking for anything specific. I think that was the impression that I got of what the property manager or what the project manager should do, but just wanted to run that by you in case you had anything else that I should be asking them.
No, and lots of times a property manager will do this for you. If you're still looking for other people, and this might not apply to you, but others might ask, well, where can I find property manager or project managers rather? It might be your property manager. That would be fine. Your agent might say, yeah, I'm happy to swing by. Great. If you need to find somebody that's separate, there's some benefit to them being separate because they don't have a dog in the fight, right? They can just advocate for you. One of the places you can find them is lots of wholesalers will do this. They'll say, yeah, sure, I'll do that on the side, make a little bit of extra money. Generally, if they're a larger wholesaler, it's not as important to them because they're usually putting full time into wholesaling. But if they're a smaller wholesaler, they're usually open to this type of stuff. Or what I recommend is going to a water hole, that being a Facebook group, or it might be Bigger Pockets, and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody. I'm a remote investor. I'm looking for somebody to check in on my properties. Essentially, I just need them to be the boots on the ground, my eyes and ears. Swing by the property once, maybe twice a week, send me pictures and videos. That's all I'm asking. It should take 30 minutes a week, maybe an hour. And is anybody interested in doing that? Does anybody know anybody that'd be interested in doing that? And you get connected with some great people. My first project manager was a college guy. He was taking 6 hours his last semester of college, and he wanted to get into the real estate game. And I said, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll teach you everything I know. As we're going through this process, we'll take extra long calls. You can ask me whatever questions you want in exchange for you being the boots on the ground. Great.